free. He laughed and taped an eviction notice over me. I said just wait until these earnings hit. He said you said that during the last 6 fucking dips. I've got a watch list full of bad decisions, like ex-girlfriends and misdemeanor convictions. Every one of them has hurt me before. Every one of them looks attractive once more. I know exactly how the story ends, but somehow I still place the bet. Changed his bio to AI. The stock went up and nobody asked why. Revenue's dead, the balance sheet's cursed, but at least the press release sounds rehearsed. The Discord called it healthy consolidation. My account called it financial mutilation. Someone typed diamond hands in the chat, and that's the last time I ever heard from Matt. My broker knows me by my first name. It's probably not a good thing. Fuck, I'm so dumb. Stupid.
Brother. Good morning, and welcome back to another episode of the Matt Kohrs Show, where the market is pretty freaking red this morning. But don't you worry, I have on my lucky MILF shirt, so all's going to be fine today. We're going to make a buttload of money. Don't you worry your little head. Folks, it is a beautiful Wednesday, July the 8th. Happy hump day to all of you who celebrate. And there's two major things I want to get into this morning. That's why we're starting a wee bit early before that casino opens, before the bell goes dingity ding ding ding. I want to break down why the market is down this morning and why it's a little bit more extreme than maybe some of us anticipated. And it's that core 1M thing that we've been talking about, on top of the fact that apparently the ceasefire is now over with Iran. So big Trump-Iran ceasefire news. And it happened to get announced when the market was a little bit more susceptible to a large sell-off. That's why things are down across the board, especially memory stocks. We're going to be talking about that, Burry's position. But then I also want to give you an update on the current trading competition. We are starting day 3. Technically, day 3 of the trading competition started at 6 p.m. last night when the futures market opened. And we have some good news. Not only did we survive the first round, my opponent, Hobo Joe, couldn't handle the heat. He couldn't handle what I was whipping up in the kitchen, and he ended up blowing up as I was actually in second place, right behind the first place person. Unfortunately for me, the person I'm now going against is the person who got first place in the first round. So I want to give you the breakdown of where that situation is at. So for this second round, it's day 3 and 4. So each round of the competition is a 2-session trading bout. Day 1, day 2 is round 1. Day 3, day 4 is round 2. And then obviously it just goes on and on and on. So I'm going to give you the breakdown of that as well. I hope you guys did well yesterday. I hope you made a bunch of money. I hope if you didn't make a bunch of money, you make it all today. And if you did make a bunch of money, I hope you make even more bunches of money today. Crazy volatility in terms of the intraday ranges. So it's really easy to make a good amount of money. But if you happen to be on the wrong side of it, especially if you're trading with size, it's also really easy to lose a lot of money. So I beg of you, not only just generically is this good advice, but specifically in this environment, stick to your trading plan, respect your risk. And if you choose to do none of that, well, I hope Lady Luck is on your side. Now, before we really get rocking today, if you guys could do me a massive, massive favor, don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on those notifications. I know you hear me say this all the time, but ever since the return of having newborn, whatever, the algorithm is punishing me because I took an entire month off. And that's, I guess, just something that's my burden to bear. But if you guys want to help me out, all that type of engagement, liking, subscribing, turning on your notifications, even commenting, it does tell the AI algorithm, the overlords, if you will, that run my life, to promote this to extra people. So trying to get that normal crew back. And I don't want to be one of those people like some of our competitors who are just buying views, because that just seems like a little bit suspect if you ask me. But anyway, with all of that being said, let's take a look-see at things. SPY is currently down 0.6%. Obviously, it was down quite a bit more. The Qs are down 0.7%. Obviously, down quite a bit more. The Russell's down 0.7%. At one point, around 5 in the morning, it was down quite a bit more. And Bitcoin is just going down and down and down. So the first question is, what in the world gives? Trump says Iran ceasefire is over after latest round of strikes. So basically, bad news as it relates to global conflict. This is from Donald J. Trump himself on his True Social. The U.S. military has never been stronger or more powerful. No other nation can do what we do. This year, we set even more historic recruiting records months ahead of schedule. Morale has never been higher. Our military's unmatched power was on full display during the celebration of 250 years of American independence. Like our country, and the War Department has never been, quote unquote, hotter. We need to keep it this way, which is why when Congress returns, we must pass the Reconciliation 3.0 with $350 billion for defense, plus the Save America Act. I'm calling on the House and Senate leadership to make this the #1 priority to ensure that the $350 billion in Recon 3.0 moves out of the Budget Committee as soon as Congress is back in session. The Save America Act, which everyone is asking for, paired with full funding of the Great Department of War, can be passed very quickly, ensuring that the U.S. stays free for generations to come. Thank you for your attention on this matter, President Donald J. Trump. I'm bringing this up. This got posted, as you can see, July 7th, 12:58 a.m., kind of relating to the fact that, yes, we have the biggest military, and he's trying to make it even bigger. And then that kind of leads us to this. Breaking. Massive strikes against Iran. This is posted by the president. I want to be clear. This isn't some random account that's posting. This is from the president. Someone's Twitter, breaking massive strikes against Iran. And then he even gave us the video for it. So we might as well check that out. Oh. So it was right around not only the bombing, but the president posting videos of the bombing that the market, obviously overnight, took a pretty considerable hit. Breaking, President Trump says the ceasefire with Iran is quote unquote over. I don't want to deal with them anymore. They are scum. Wow.
Is the ceasefire over? Is the ceasefire done? Is the MOU dead?
It's a very interesting question.
Very interesting. Why do you care?
I think it's over. I don't want to deal with them anymore. They're scum. You know what scum is? They're scum. They're sick people. They're led by sick people. And they're vicious, violent people. And if they had a nuclear weapon, they'd use it. As far as I'm concerned, it's over. I'll speak to our negotiators. They want to negotiate. They're good people. Steve Witkoff, Jared Kushner. But they have to come back to me. As far as I'm concerned, it's just a waste of time dealing with them. They're liars. We make a deal. And if I make a deal with him, we have a deal. And he goes out, he talks. We make a deal. Everyone's agreed. No nuclear weapon. We make a deal. They go outside, talk to the press. They say, we never even talked about it. There's something wrong with them. They're cuckoo.
They're cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
It's over.
You know, folks, that's the real issue in Iran. They haven't been eating breakfast for a while, so they're a little bit hangry. And as you heard from the president, they are, in fact, cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, which I guess in a certain sense, according to the president, is making them scum. So that's your most recent update between Trump and Iran and where we're at the ceasefire, as in there is no more ceasefire. So not only are global hostilities rising, that's exactly what we're seeing in the market. And it's just not the equities market. Oil surges almost 6% after Trump says ceasefire with Iran is over. If you want to see what's going on with oil, I do have it right here. Recently trading at 67.50 up to almost 74. So it is up about 5%. So yeah, people not so stoked. But the big question here is this going to be a taco situation? And I'm referring to the acronym Trump always chickens out. What's interesting is when this first broke, everything dipped pretty hardcore, but you could see the dip is already being bought in the S&P 500, the Nasdaq, and the Russell. So right now, and even if you look at the options movement overnight, at first there was a bit of a shock to the system. And if I had to guess why that was, I would say it was because correlation was very low. So things were susceptible for a shock. But we could already see people are just using this as an opportunity to buy the dip. So whether they think that this whole situation will blow over, whether they think it's a taco, all I can do is comment on the data we have in front of us and let you know, yes, the market took a hit, but people are not at this moment, at the moment of me filming this, they are not lining up to have gigantic bearish bets. If anything, they are buying the dip. So it'll be interesting to see how this all plays out. And just final thing here, not as exciting, but still important. Fed meeting minutes to show family fight over rates. The squabble could drag on for a while. So we have a new Fed chair. We went from Jerome Powell to Kevin Warsh, and for a long time, Kevin Warsh has been this guy who's like, I'm pretty hawkish. I don't want to really chance inflation getting bad. So it was really confusing when Trump selected him because Trump wants rates lower. And that's not what you do when you're hawkish. When you're hawkish, if anything, you want to push rates higher because you're really concerned about inflation. So it was an interesting pick, but I have to admit, in his first FOMC meeting, that's when they decide what to do with the federal fund rates. He was well spoken. He was put together. It was a little interesting that he didn't do the dot plot stuff or anything like that. But like I said, he was pretty polished. He sounded good. He sounded the part. But what we're getting from the FOMC meeting minutes, which is the document you get of all the detailed information from the most recent FOMC meeting, we can find internally there's a fight over what to do. Now, is this political influence? Maybe. Do they have a true, almost like academic difference of opinion? Maybe. But I just want to let you know, moving forward from here, not only do we have to consider whatever's going on with Trump and Iran from the lens of monetary policy, which obviously is going to impact bonds and yields, which have a huge impact on the equities market. Remember, the bond market is multiple times bigger than the equity market. This could have a huge impact depending on if they actually come into agreement or if they don't, because before this, there was a lot of unanimous votes. Like, it was really easy to predict what the Fed was going to do when Jerome Powell was chair. That, I guess, age of easy prediction might be behind us. So just another thing to pay attention to. But I also, just not to scare anyone, I just want to let you know, overall picture, are we looking amazing right now? Not amazing, but we're also not that far from the all-time high. So when in doubt, zoom out. And on that particular note,
Dingity ding ding ding. The world's largest casino is now open. Best of luck to all. Play responsibly, and if not, have fun.
all right, we're getting rocking. The market's going. Obviously, here, I'm going to show you the options flow and all that good jazz when we get going today. I don't have on any positions at the moment, but I do want to let you know here, I guess I could show you, I did a couple overnight trades. I did a couple early morning trades. Thus far, looking pretty decent. I'm about $100 away. Well, this one's a little bit farther, but some of these are about, like, most of these are within $100 of passing on alpha. I'm trading funded on Tradeify. They're looking good, almost at 2K, almost filling out that buffer. I am already trading on my competition account, the L Cup. That's the Legends Cup. That's the one that we're starting day 3, already up $980. I was up 2K last night. I gave some of that back. Lucid, this is day 4, up 500. These are funded. MFF, same thing, day 4. They're up 500, 3.4K in total. Take profit. All I had to do was do a little baby scalp trade, so I took care of that. $5, $5, $5. And then these pros, same thing, just slowly but surely getting to where I need to be. I'm not necessarily on the precipice of a big payout or anything like that, but I'm getting there. I'm trying to keep it slow and steady, trying to keep it reasonable, trying to do exactly what I know I should be doing. So really quickly, right here, what I have highlighted is the Lucid Cup. So it resets every new competition, which, remember, the competition is every 2 days. Each round is 2 days. It resets. So yesterday it concluded, and I am pleased to report that I did end up winning my round of the competition. So you can see on this one right here, here I am in the bottom left, Matt Kohrs. I should be representing the Vatican City. They give me the Italian flag for some reason. But anyway, I was able to bait Hobo Joe trades. Now, what you're about to see is Hobo actually did very poorly when everything ended. He went from 25K all the way down to 12. So he lost about 13,000. It's right where my cursor is. While I was over here in second place, I went from 25 up to 33. So I made $8,648. So I was up 8K. He was down 13K. So there's a 21K differential. And this seems dramatic, but going into it, I think what happened was he just got tilted at the end and he was just throwing anything against the wall to see if it would stick to try to beat me. But he was actually up quite a bit. So I don't think these numbers really represent how close the competition was, because after day one, he was actually beating me. After day one, he was up 3K and I was down 2K. The start of day two, we were tied. And somewhere throughout day two, I started to pull away. I think it caused him to get tilted. So obviously down here. So that was my opposition once again right here. This was Hobo Joe. So now my new guy is Jesus FCT with the Japanese flag there. And he actually ended up winning the competition the first round yesterday, right here. Jesus FCT. He ended up making a decent amount, just over 9K, $9,110. So just my pure luck that not only do I have pretty steep competition for round one, for round two, I'm literally going against the guy who ended up winning in round one. He had the most profit. Last night, it was wild. I want to show you where things currently stand as of this morning. I'm right here, up $654. I don't think this is updated yet. So hang on, let me do a quick reload to see where it's at. Okay, here I am up $980, currently in third place, which that's good. I'm happy, but we got to focus on my competition, who he's all the way down here. So even though he won the first round in terms of his competition, but he also had the most profit, he's already in last place, down about 10.4K. Now, I have a sneaky suspicion he's doing some wild stuff, because last night when the market opened, I looked at 7 or 8 p.m. He was down 3K. Then I looked around 10 p.m. He was actually up 6.5. So he had a 9.5K swing around, and then some point from 10 p.m. last night where he was up 6.5 to obviously right now, he had a 16K swing, and now he's down 10. So he was down 3, up 6.5, now down 10. So I think he's just doing some super, super degenerate stuff. But anyway, he's currently in last. He did win the last round, not only in his opposition, but he also had, like right here, I'm just showing you, he had the biggest gain. So that's who I'm currently against. But not only that, I obviously just want to still trade well, perform well. I don't necessarily want to give him any room to breathe. So I'm going to keep trading. But right now, what's crazy about this is, okay, Uncle Bugatti is currently in second place, up about $1,800. Uncle Bugatti got third place yesterday. He was in third place at the end of round one, just barely beating out Chris FX. So how crazy is this, that the fourth place guy actually ended up getting eliminated just the way the competition worked? Because right here, Chris FX went against Uncle Bugatti. Look at that. I mean, hats off to Chris FX, because that was probably, it was by definition the most competition right here. Uncle Bugatti made $8,290, while Chris FX made $8,256. It was a $34 differential. And like I said, shout out to Chris FX, because that was a steep competition. There's other people down here. Sage made it. He lost $300, $400. Sage lost money and advanced, while Chris made $8,000 and did not advance. And that's what happens. Like, I'm not saying it's fair or unfair. I'm just saying hats off to Chris. That was a really good competition. But sometimes when you're just playing mono, you don't necessarily need to go for the highest gain. You just got to play your man. And that's what Sage, SK right here only made 200. You have people literally losing money who got to advance, and then a guy who made 8K did not. So it's just pure luck. Sometimes that is just luck of the draw. So like I said, all respect to really anyone over here. Even Damn Good Trading, he was up $5,800 and he got eliminated. Who did he lose to? Damn Good Trading. That guy was up here. Damn Good. He lost to Common right here. So how did that actually end? He lost. So this guy made 7,800. This guy made 5,000. So like, I really honestly, hats off to Chris, hats off to Damn Good Trading. The fact that they were up a huge amount of money within 2 days of trading, it's just unfortunate. It's unfortunate for them. If I were them, I'd be frustrated that people over here got to advance, especially the SK, Sage, And then obviously this bottom, I don't know how, but the number 31 and 32, this was a 32 person trading competition. I don't know how this is possible. They lost all $25,000. We all started with 25K. They lost 25,052. This guy, Cove Trader, lost 25,130. JMU Trades, Twitter influencer, Brian Sock, Twitter influencer, Hobo Joe, my competition, Minx. I don't know how people could be selling a class. Like a lot of these people over here are selling classes, selling Discord, selling education, and they didn't just lose. They got destroyed. It's one thing if you're over here. It's one thing if you're in the first two and you're like, okay, like whatever. Maybe your system just didn't work. Maybe the other person got a little bit lucky. Like I said, over here, I don't mind it. But the people over here, that's incredibly bad. Honestly, even in this one, it's a little bit questionable. Positive. I don't mind those two. So basically, 19th onward, what are these people doing? 19th to 32nd, especially these two. But makes you wonder, folks. Makes you wonder. Just getting absolutely stomped on. This is being hosted by BDH, and none of the BDH traders actually made it on. D Money got destroyed. Where's D Money? Where's D Money? D Money losing a lot of money right there. And then there was some other random person with BDH. I don't even know the name, but he got eliminated too. So not looking good. Some traders lose big and win bigger to be fair. That's not necessarily good trading. Like your variance matters. Like that very much matters. Like these numbers in this final column, it's just honestly not acceptable. It's just not acceptable. So anyway, this is the start of round 2, and it's going to last 2 days. It's today and tomorrow. Here's the current setup. I'm in third. My opposition is currently in last place, but with the ranges, you never know what's going to be. Uncle Bugatti, if I end up going on, and that would be my next competition, because right here, the way it sets up is if I win this, I go here. Uncle Bugatti's right there. If he beats Daniel Inskeep, I think I've seen some of his YouTube videos. So potentially, I mean, this bottom left quadrant is by far the most competitive. Everyone over here, maybe minus 1 or 2. Chris FX crushed it. Bugatti crushed it. Jesus FCT crushed it. I crushed it. Hobo Joe crushed it day 1. This bottom left quadrant is by far the most competitive. This top right quadrant, it's maybe the next most competitive. This one's decent down here. This top left one's a joke. Like the performance over here, like it's fine. Like a couple of them, these two did pretty good. Each little quadrant has their own. Like Kellyanne did well. These two did well. Down here, you had Ike and WTF do pretty well. It's just getting put into this one, which was just honestly pure luck. It's by far the most competitive. Like, I feel like getting out of this group, the finals is going to be way, way easier. It's like literally the competition is just to get out of this quadrant at this point. But we'll see how things actually end up shaping up. So feel free to follow along. I mean, we're rocking with it. We're having some fun for the competition. They are running Legends right here is running on their apprentice accounts. Those are the ones I like the best. You could use code Goonie. They're running a pretty good deal, 60% off, 60, and when you buy one, you get one free. That's pretty tough to beat. But also a quick shout out to TPT. I saw yesterday, it's funny, we were talking about Apex, but more of you guys signed up for TPT, so I just wanted to let you know, 40% off and no activation code. So TPT or Legends, Goonie's going to work, and you're going to get a pretty sick deal. All right, where are we at in the market? We're opening up. I intentionally did not want to trade at market open just because things are a little bit crazy right now. And look at that. Qs are almost going back to being green. I mean, that's a big swing, folks. We have gone from 28,909 to 29,371. That's almost a 500-point swing back up after going from 558 all the way down to 900. So we had a 650-point dump followed by a 500-point pop. So as much as this might seem crazy, like I'm not necessarily safe. Like there is enough movement to get yourself out of a 10K hole. There really, really is. So for those of you who might be thinking, oh, Matt, you're done. You're not going to be trading. Dude, a 10K hole, if you catch one or two of these moves with 2 contracts, it's possible, guys. Like it is possible to get yourself out of that hole. So I don't really think I can let my foot off the gas quite yet. I really don't think it's appropriate because if the opposition takes one of those trades and catches it, 2, 3, 400 points, boom, right back in it. And it's not just today, it's also tomorrow. So like, for those of you who might be thinking, oh, Matt, you already won this round, easy, just hang up your hat. I personally think that's a misstep. Now, you could also argue, well, maybe on the other side of it, he could mess it up because it's a big one. And you could, yeah, of course you could go down, but I'm not necessarily going to count on my competition somehow just like blowing out. It might happen. There might be too much pressure on him. I don't know. But I don't think that's a safe assumption, if that makes sense. Before we move on and start to do some of this analysis, I do want to switch line. I do like line better. Yeah, I think I like line the best. Technical. Okay, we don't need that one. Okay, so Spot Gamma coming out with a new one. Let me go to this. Nope. Why can't I update this? Close. Line. I do like the line the best rather than that other stuff. Okay, cool. So thus far, the flow on the day, nothing too crazy. Mag 7, same thing, slightly down. NASDAQ, a little bit of a pop up, but maybe trending up. IWM actually just got a hero flow alert as well. So we're going to track this. It's not the most data. We only have 13 minutes of data thus far on the trading session. So I'm not saying it's not important. I'm just saying it's not necessarily the end all be all. Thus far, we do have higher highs and higher lows. If you want to see momentum right here, 1 minute, 5 minute bullish, 10 minutes testing, 30 minute is still bearish. But right here, the shorter time frames are breaking bullish. The 10 minute has a nice structure and it's testing. The 30 minute is still clearly bearish. Looking at the NASDAQ, 1 minute, 5 minute, 10 minutes, all bullish. And even the 30 minutes now testing. So tech, which was getting destroyed overnight, people are obviously buying the dip. So like I said, I currently have no live positions. I did do some trades overnight. I did take advantage of some opportunity that I saw. So here's the current state of all my accounts. I'm not really trading the take profits because I already passed them. I just need more trading days. So today should be the last day, which is actually why we're talking about take profit. I already hit my profit target goal. I just needed more trade days. So as of tomorrow, I should have more pro funded accounts with them. I'll double check that. But once again, with TPT, 40% off, no activation fee, daily payouts. You could use that code Goonie if you so choose. For those of you curious about some of these key levels, we're actually kind of already at my first one, 470. Looks like we still have an upside gap fill that we have not hit yet. The upside gap fill is a very evident, very clear play. We have the low from yesterday at 7478. We have not hit that yet today. We have not traded up into 7478. That's a very high odds play. When I say it's very high odds, that does not mean it's a guarantee. I'm not saying here, oh, it's a guarantee play. I'm saying, hey, with a very high statistical likelihood, at some point today, SPX will trade up into 7478.63, which is the exact low of yesterday. So I set an alert there. We can pay attention to it. You can see it right here. It's this red line, but with very high odds, we'll hit it. And actually, we did some analysis in the Discord. There's actually a really good chance of hitting it within the first hour, somewhere between 9:30 and 10:30. Dang, YouTube said you weren't live. I had to check your channel. YouTube is punishing me. I don't know why. It's because I took time off. I stopped posting, because I had a son and I thought I should be doing father things. But yeah, it's the comeback tour on YouTube has been a little bit difficult. The AI, I don't think it's like an individual human. I think it's their system said, oh, this guy stopped posting, so let's stop promoting him. So yeah, I am currently trying to fight to get my content livelihood back, because YouTube doesn't ever want you to take a break, which I think is questionable for various reasons. But hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. We'll make it back. We'll fight back. And if not, it'll just be us guys laughing the whole time. I blame the yen. That's a good one. Just so you guys know, today at 10:30, we're going to get crude oil inventories. At 1 p.m. Eastern, we're going to get the 10-year note auction. So just wanted to call that out. And other than that, let me clean this up a little bit. If you haven't already, sign up for the newsletter. It's 100% free every single Sunday. A breakdown of what's going on in the market, cheat sheet for earnings, cheat sheet for all the major macroeconomic events. And then really the most useful thing is the seasonality of each day. And I just want you to know, over the past 27 years, this day nets out to being neutral. It was a little bit bullish, a little bit bearish, a little bit bullish, recently giving it back. So there's not a real strong seasonal skew for this particular day, just so everyone knows. So we're still looking for this upside gap fill, which we are not far away from getting. If you decided to play that, especially at this 939 breakout, congrats to you. That was a good trade. We haven't hit it quite yet, but I am looking for us to hit the low from yesterday. Once again, is it a statistically guaranteed trade? Not at all. Is the likelihood of it hitting high, probably in excess of 85-90%? Yes, especially within the first hour. Those are the types of stats, facts, and figures we get into in the Discord. We do have a trading Discord. It's for futures. It's for options. That's the main stuff we do. A lot of options education, premium selling, and futures. It's more of an in-depth analysis of what we do on the live show, but just better explanation. So if that's interesting to you, GoonieTrading.com. And just to kind of show you what we're doing, yesterday alone, it would have paid for you to be in there for an entire 6-month period. So here's my trade posted in real time. I sold premium at 11.11. I got out at 11.49. So just proof of real-time stuff. I sold at 60, bought it back at 30, made $600. And like I said, that would have paid for you to be in there for half a year. So just wanted to share that with you that, yeah, I'm actually trading. A lot of people recently, well, not even recently, but recently and before that, Matt, like, do you do live trading beyond futures? Yeah, I do a lot of options trading as well. Those are the two main things I do. I invest in crypto, I invest in stocks, I trade options, I trade futures. So all that other stuff and the more detailed explanation and the reasoning and me as a resource, that's all in the Discord if that's something that interests you. But just to show you, obviously, I took a little bit of a break. I wasn't going so hardcore in the month of May or June because of my newborn son. But now that I'm finally getting my life a little bit more figured out, now that I'm getting a little bit more than 3 hours of sleep per night, I'm slowly but surely transitioning back into my quote unquote normal trading, my normal schedule. We're not there, but I'm hoping by the end of July, August, like I'm back to where I need to be. I definitely underappreciated. I knew I was going to be sleep deprived as a new father. I underappreciated how much the sleep deprivation would impact trading for me. I really, really did. LOL, Bitcoin is screwed. I have to admit, I'm like not that far away from selling my Bitcoin and just putting it in stocks. Did you get the email about Vanquish removing SPX? I did. I didn't read it though, so I didn't quite know the details of what was happening or what wasn't happening. If you want to share with the class, I heard cocaine helps. Yeah. Vanquish got rid of SPX, XSP, and VIX due to exploits. Oh, well, if people were exploiting the system, they should get rid of it. But remember, like, there's no love lost. Just go trade SPY. Like, SPY is SPX. Go trade SPY. You'll be fine. Congrats on your son, Matt. Hope you win the Legends Cup. I listened to you, MPW. Yes, I hit the like button. Shout out, Wiz. That's awesome. I think around 53,000 Bitcoin low. Of course, I could be wrong. Yeah, we'll find out. I'm still holding mine. Like it's not something that I look at every single day, but I have to admit I was very, very close to buying some puts against Bitcoin recently, especially on BITX. I was thinking about getting some puts on this a little bit of, I mean, it's down 6.8%. That would have paid nicely. Or you could always do it on IBIT. I was thinking about hedging out my Bitcoin holdings by getting some puts. I haven't done it, to be honest, just to be transparent. But that's kind of what I was looking at. All right, here's my accounts. I'm currently not in a position. I am not in a position, but maybe it's time I start paying attention a little bit more. We just fell. This screen probably doesn't make the most sense right now here. This screen probably makes a little bit more sense. Where is my VWAP? Where, oh, where is VWAP? Where, oh, where is the indicator? I don't know where VWAP is. I lost. Oh, there's VWAP. Okay. So we have RTH VWAP down here at 311. We have session VWAP at 250. Right now, we do have higher highs and higher lows. High, higher low. So structure is up. Momentum in the short term is up. We are above both VWAPs. So in the very short term, things appear to be bullish, and that makes sense to me because I'm still looking for people to play it up to this upside gap fill. And then from there, we're paying attention to a whole new leg. My first trade idea out of the gate is play the short-term structure momentum up to this upside gap fill. And then we have to wait and see how the market reacts. We have to see, okay, like, are they choosing to buy? Are they choosing to sell? Like, how aggressive are people getting? How aggressive are people not getting? Right now, the flow has been nothing too special. We're just kind of, we did go up a little bit. Now we're going a bit down. We just don't have that much data. We have like 22 minutes of data. Clear fall off from yesterday. We're definitely in the negative. Hedge wall up here. Maybe it gets going. Mag 7. You know what? Let's open this up a little bit. Mag 7 is trending down. NASDAQ is also trending down a bit. Yeah. All right. NASDAQ trending down in options. Mag 7 trending down. SPY is choppy sideways. So options really not telling us too much. If we start to fall, my major downside target of the day would be 7420, ripping through this negative gamma node. However, if we get going, I could realistically see a push up to 7490, 7500. Here's a positive gamma. There's a hedge wall, a little bit of a negative gamma there to rip through. So I'm kind of, the bull case is somewhere between 490 and 7500 for target number one. And then in terms of your bearish target number one would be 7440, followed by 7420-ish, maybe 7415, whatever this is down here. So the first two bull targets, well, the first bull target, upside gap fill at 78. Second target, somewhere between 490 and 500. Target one, target two, we're seemingly going for target one right now. On the bearish side of things, target number one would be 7440. Target number two would be 7420 with a reach target of 7400. So just want to give you the bull case, want to give you the bear case. Obviously, I have my own bias on the day, but maybe yours differs, and I just want to do my job properly and give you guys the reasonable targets, because maybe you and I have a completely different bias, but you're still interested in that. And I do believe all good active traders, they understand both the bull and the bear case, because then that gives you an idea of if things are going right or going wrong. So whether you're bullish or bearish, I do think it's going to help you to have a case developed in your own mind, or write it down or whatever, for the opposite side. Every single intraday trading session, I do that all the time. I have my bull case, I have my bear case. Obviously, I share most of it with you. I go into further detail with people in the Discord, but not only do I think it's a good just training exercise, because maybe you're completely wrong on one side on your bias, it's good to kind of know the other one to see if it's playing out properly. But then I also do it just because I understand that you watching this, maybe you're not always going to have the same bias as me. And like I said, I want to do my job and give you out the reasonable levels. So if I'm completely wrong, at least you still have the levels to the other side. Can I check out the Tesla options? How's Tesla doing today? I don't even see Tesla on my list. Oh, there it is. It was hidden. Tesla not having the best day, sub 400, losing 2%. SanDisk is bouncing back. Interesting. Here is a look at old Tesla. Down. Definitely trending down. SPY starting to go down. Mag 7's been going down. Nasdaq's going down. Options flow is not looking the best, folks. I'm surprised we didn't get the upside gap fill. Doesn't necessarily make me want to chase this to the downside, because I know there's still high odds. The odds do drop off by the time we hit 1030. If we don't hit the upside gap fill by 1030, the odds of it happening are still decent, but they do like clearly decrease. So I just want to let you know that that we kind of had a shot right at market open. We kind of had a shot at 947. There's just, I guess people were front running it a little bit. Not necessarily out of the woods. We're really not that far away. Like, we have decent range. As you can see on the NASDAQ, we are holding one VWAP. We have the next VWAP. At any point, this could just bounce. For me, I'm waiting for that kind of 10 a.m. Just to see if there's new trades coming in, if there's reversals or anything like that. So once again, just to be clear, I have no live positions on my futures right now. I do have options positions. Speaking of that, has any of my stuff locked in? I have some premium that I sold, none of which has hit. Well, that's a bummer. In fact, they're all red. One break even on Google. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Don't really need to rush it. At 10:10, maybe I'll check. 10, you can see right here when it updates. It updates about 10 minutes past the hour, so it's a snapshot from the new hour, and then it updates a couple minutes after. So the most recent update was 9:07. So the next one's going to be somewhere between like 10:05 and 10:10. It's updated hourly. So I want to, before I start really slinging it, I want to see what this guy is doing. My op here, Kellyanne, really got destroyed there. Sage is a guy who lost money in the first round, but somehow still decided or was able to move on. SK, same thing, lost money. And I don't know anything about these two. The Grinders or Mighty Ox Trading. I have no idea who they are, but they are somehow already in the red. Kellyanne had a really good first round. I guess she must have gotten beaten up overnight. 4 of these people haven't traded at all. Ike had a little bit of a scalp. Prolonged Wealth, a little bit of a scalp. Gene, probably a couple scalps. I went up and lost money. I went up to 2K, lost 1,000. So I'm hanging out at 1K. Uncle Bugatti. And then he must have caught something overnight. He probably caught a dump overnight or something like that. Probably caught a bit of a trade overnight. So that's where we currently stand. SPY picking up a little bit. Are we going for that upside gap, Phil? Are we going for the whole upside gap, Phil? All right. Well, my personal plan, and like I said, do what you want. I am not your mom. My personal plan is to wait for the 10 a.m. hour to pass. I want to see if we're getting this upside gap fill. I want to get a better idea of options flow. I'm not really feeling the biggest pressure to be ripping anything out of the gate. Obviously, as I start trading, I'll show it to you. But just right now, I'm not like necessarily an eager beaver to be ripping any trades at this exact moment. So I'm just going to wait a couple minutes because we're almost at the 10 a.m. hour. Options flow is a little bit questionable. So patience. But in the meantime, as we're letting a couple minutes pass, do you guys have any questions about options flow, about the gamma map, about the trading competition, about the TPT deal, about sim to funded firms in general, about life in general, about long-term investing, about crypto? Any questions? I have a couple minutes to kill anyway. I just don't think it's appropriate for me to be trading at this exact moment. That was a nice pop. I could have taken a long there. 'Twas a nice pop. Probably, I was looking at the long at 40 and we're already up to 80. That's a bit of a bummer, but still not necessarily appropriate for me. Gap up. Here we go. Oh, for the upside gap fill. I mean, we're getting close. We're climbing up to it. It's once again exactly at 7478.63. If you're looking for the level on SPY, it is 745.21. It does not exist on the Qs, so it's just on the S&P 500, just so everyone knows. Your opinion on SpaceX? I like it. Just not right now. Generally, when something just made its public debut, it's greatly overvalued. So I think it's going to be a hyper successful company in the long term. This is just not the moment for me to buy it. I do own a share. I bought a share on day one just to say I've been invested for it in day one. But I would prefer to be buying it around like $100. Tradeify hasn't paid me out in 7 days. Is that normal? No, generally they're super fast. You might want to reach out to their support. How many times has your son peed on you? Literally countless, dude. That kid is a peeing machine. When you check the gamma levels, do SPX levels override the QQQ gamma levels for trading NQ? I look at, like, I like them all. I'm not going to say one's more important. Technically, there's more money trading SPX, so I guess there is an argument that it's more influential. But I just like to know it all because, remember, my general approach to trading is they're all different pieces of the puzzle. So I kind of want to know what all the pieces are saying. Lucid Pro versus Flex. I think Flex is a better option. Apple with its move to AI. How's Apple doing? Where is Apple? Slightly down. 308 though. AMD's up. Broadcom's up. Broadcom's having a good day. Avago. Lam Research is having a good day too. Palantir is getting destroyed, folks. CoreWeave is having a good day, up 4%. AMC. Is anyone surprised that AMC is taking a hit? It's just such a good company. It has to be dark pools, right? It's almost like every single pop should always be shorted because it's a piece of shit company. Silver is down 4%. Golly. gold, MSTR, coin, Netflix. Netflix cannot catch a breather. Ever since this earnings back in April, just destroyed 96 down to 75. Oh, Amazon down. Rum is up, going flat. Apple double top. AMD, ASML, Avago, SpaceX, TSM, HUT, Marvel, Intel, Tesla. Ooh, Tesla fake out breakout, not looking so good there. Any comment on bonds long term? You're gonna have a better return in equities. Just basic studies have told us that bonds are safer and they're fine, but you're gonna have a better long term return in equities. Do you think AMC was a piece of shit during the build up of the OG squeeze? As an investment, yeah, it's always been a shitty investment, and COVID made it a worse investment. But that doesn't mean it's a bad trade. There's a very big difference between being a good trade and being a good investment, or being a bad trade or a bad investment. Sometimes it could be both. Sometimes it could be neither. Sometimes it could be one but not the other. Right now, AMC is actually still probably a good trade because anytime it pops, you can short it and make money and make easy money. So it's kind of always been like a good trade for active traders. I guess there was a lull there where it wasn't doing anything. So at one point in time recently, maybe 2 years ago, it was a nothing. It's never been a good investment. Never been a good investment. There are, in the past 5 years, there have been periods where it's been a good trade. And when I say a good trade, I don't necessarily mean bullish. Like right now, it's still a good bearish trade. But as an investment, I mean, it takes the most rudimentary understanding of fundamental analysis to understand that it was a bad investment. Like literally day one of your fundamental analysis teaching, you could understand why AMC is a bad investment. And people want to argue with it, but yet the only people arguing that are people who are bag holding from way, way higher. And like, whatever, the scoreboard is there, folks. It's down 99% from the high. So if you think it's a good investment, you have to somehow explain the fact that it's down 99%. Has Apex paid you the million? No, I'm still patiently waiting on that. Still patiently waiting on that. I'm hoping, like in normal trading, I hope with Apex, patience pays. I hope patience pays. Okay, curious if this breaks 300. Rick is on CNBC. What is he saying? What is old Rick saying? Oh, hang on. This might be important.
Second weakest of the year outside of January, where it was a -0.3. And this is notable. We've seen a real slowdown in the growth of inventories. What we see is 1.5 in March, 0.7 in April, and obviously this up
wholesale
1 in
inventories.
May.
All right, not the most exciting.
Less essential.
Bridges, he suggested.
All right, Rick.
Now the president says more strikes are likely coming.
And so we hit him very hard last night. Very, very hard. Probably hit him hard again tonight. I'll give him a little warning. We're going to hit him hard tonight. But we'll see how it all works out.
The president also re-upped his threats to take out Iranian infrastructure, some bridges. He suggested the U.S. could take over Karg Island. That's Iran's oil export hub. So really escalating his rhetoric against Iran here. And for all the attacks that we've seen traded between the U.S. and Iran since the ceasefire first took effect in April, this is really the first time, guys, that we've heard the president say outright that it's no longer in place. That said, he and other officials have said that negotiations with Iran can continue. But the president this morning casting significant doubt that a diplomatic solution is still possible.
Now, as to whether or not Steve Witkoff, Jared, and JD and everybody working on that will talk, I guess they can talk, but I'm not seeing it with them, with the people. My whole life is deals. I don't see it.
He later said that even if a deal
multiple
is ultimately
times
struck
bouncing
with Iran,
off of
he's not sure that
bounce,
it will
bounce,
stick,
bounce,
because he has found the Iranians to be, quote, very dishonorable people. Guys.
So, Megan, where are we? Are we back to war, or are we, I guess everybody, not everybody, but certainly the question is being
hasn't
asked
updated
exactly
yet. Should be
how we
updating
can
within a minute
characterize
or
the current
two.
Situation.
There is so little clarity around this, is what I would say. We are awaiting a presidential news conference, so maybe we get more then. But I'll say reporters asked the president directly, does this mean we're back to full-scale war? And he did not answer that question directly. He continues to say, to me, the ceasefire is over. We'll find out if other officials and if Iran believe that the ceasefire is over. Clearly what we know now is attacks are going to continue being exchanged, though we have seen that before. Iran is targeting shipping in the Strait, and that's enough to spook the oil markets, as we've seen so far today. That's enough to, raise questions about whether ships should be going through here. If the ceasefire is over, does that mean negotiations are continuing? If the president doesn't believe a diplomatic solution is possible, what's the reason? Why would they even still be holding talks? Clearly, the president feels backed into a corner here. He feels like he's running out of options. He deeply wants to be on the other side of this war, but doesn't have a way to get there. And it's also striking that all of this is happening while he's at this NATO summit, surrounded by European leaders who also really want to see things back to normal in the Strait of Hormuz. He's not exactly rallying them all to his side. And instead, the president's sort of standing alone here, but saying that, he thinks they're going to need to return to at least more attacks in Iran, if not full-scale war.
Yeah, the timing of it all is truly remarkable.
All right, we just got the
Megan,
update.
Thank you so much.
We just got an update. I'm still in third place, up 980. The guy I'm against appears to not have traded.
The market's acting with a risk-off posture today. Equity is down, yields up, oil up. Do you feel like the risk premium of the war resuming is currently being reflected, or is this what you would expect from a market that, based on those comments from President Trump, appears to be that the ceasefire is over?
Well, actually, if you think about the degree of those comments, and you think about the fact that oil moving $4 at 70 from 70 to 74 is a lot more significant than moving, say, from 100 to 104, as we were in March and April. The rest of the asset market is relatively calm right now. And
SPY's still trying to go for this upside gap fill. I wonder if they're just going to clean up the chart and dump it from there. Be careful about being greedy at the intraday high.
More understanding of a bit more volatility.
All right, this guy's as boring as could possibly be. So like I said, the main bullish play is still this upside gap fill. But what I find concerning is, yes, okay, the SPY has not broken down. The S&P 500 has not broken down. Yes, we know there's odds of this. I'm not really seeing excitement in like the options market at all for the S&P 500. We're just kind of grinding sideways. The Mag 7 is getting hit. The NASDAQ is getting hit. The Russell, not much going on there either. But in the tech sector, it's still getting hit. And you could kind of see that here where we're kind of pushing this. Like, see how it's slowing down? Like, we're not going up in that nice linear fashion. Like these, even though we have higher, low, higher, low, higher, low, they're getting lower. So like right there, it's not as much. It's not as much. It's not as much. So really, we popped for the first 3 minutes. Ever since then, we're just kind of going sideways. Nothing there. The S&P 500, ever since market open, has been kind of doing nothing. So I'm almost wondering, is like they're a fight where they want to be bearish, but then there's other people playing for this upside gap fill that's kind of balancing it out. And I'm curious what's going to happen post this upside gap fill or the breakdown below a recent low. So like I'm really curious of the market's reaction on SPX, either getting the upside gap fill or breaking down this 955 low. On the NASDAQ, pretty much I'm just curious about what happens if we break down effectively the 955 low. Technically, it's very close to the 950 low, but we're holding the 1 minute's bullish, 5 minutes bullish, 10 minutes bullish, 30 minute is testing. We're not necessarily out of the woods there. If you look at the S&P 500, 1 minute, 5 minute, 10 minutes bullish, 30 minutes still bearish. So depending on your time frame, you're going to have a very different idea of what the momentum is. And when I see this mismatch, sometimes I trade and it's kind of inappropriate of me, but generally I'm better off just not trading and just kind of waiting until something like this happens, where maybe we're actually breaking down. Does that agree with options flow? SPX just took a hit. Mag 7 is actually curling up. NASDAQ is going down there. Oh, brother. 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 Okay. All right. I'm going to set up alerts at the recent high and low on SPX. I'm curious if we break any of these. You know what? Let's just set it at these two. I have an alert also set at the gap fill, so let's see how that happens. Missed that trade. That actually would have worked pretty well. 300 rejection at 300. I missed that. I could have taken this sweep low for a couple points. That I missed it. That's a bummer. That would have been a nice easy $200, something like that. A nice easy $200, something like that. Oh well, patience, patience, patience. I'm not gonna chase it now. Not gonna chase it now. Oh, these ranges are brutal though. Brutal, brutal, brutal. All right, let's get a little bit of tunage in the background. Let's get a little bit of tendies and tunes. Green finger. A little something to trade along to. Yeah, it's taking a hit right here. Am I playing it on double speed? No, okay. I was worried that I forgot that. Down, 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 down. All right, patience, folks. We're waiting for that perfect trade. We're waiting for that perfect trade. Mag 7. Nasdaq's down. Mag 7 kind of went down, popped a little, went flat. S&P 500 did just take a hit, and we also swept this low. All right, so now we have to watch the intraday low 52, which sets up a push to 40, followed by 2025 right here. Yeah, 550, then 20. 50, then 20 would be the downside targets for me, at least. Chopping through this right here. Still that upside gap fill, though. Come on. I'm waiting for the perfect setup. Waiting for the perfect setup. Waiting for that perfect setup. What is this one? Market makers.
Order filled. Order filled.
Whoa, what? I thought it locked in. What happened? So this one locked in, but my other ones didn't quite yet. Why? All right, whatever.
Order filled.
Okay, I passed all the alphas. Alpha, 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 alpha. Oh, wait, I have one more. I need $150 on one account. 484. Let me turn off the other account so I don't accidentally do something stupid. Okay, so I almost passed all of these. I need $150 more on that one account, but pass it, and I disabled trading on those. Tradeifys, those are good. I got the buffer. I'm up $1,000 on the competition account. A little bit of slippage. Okay, we're in good shape. We are in good shape, folks. We are in good shape. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. We're right at VWAP. Right here, we're battling it out at VWAP. My trade was pretty dangerous. I didn't realize we were that close to VWAP. I got lucky. Right here, it made money, as you can see, short, fill, but very dangerous because sometimes you get these fake out breakdowns. Very dangerous, actually. That was a super... I didn't realize how close we were to VWAP. Right there. Pop, break, fake out, rip. Not a bad short right now. 311, 315. Yeah, right there. I said 311 was a good short.
Alright, so I wrote this song about losing it all and starting this fucking band. Let's fucking go!
Order filled. Order filled.
Shit, there's no order.
Order filled. Order filled.
I got knocked out for break even. I accidentally didn't have an ATM on, so I thought just protect myself and do break even. Did I pass? Okay, I passed all the alphas. 159, 159, 159, 159, 159. So disconnecting all the alphas, there's no advantage for me to trade them anymore. Nice. Hell yeah, brother. Pass all the alphas. So I should be able to upgrade them today, actually. I'm just waiting for those to disconnect so my data doesn't get weird. Wow, look at that pop. Good thing I did the ATM. Right back to one. Yeah, we're just classic VWAP to VWAP ping pong. We have to wait. It's a little too choppy right now. It's not as like evident as a setup as it was yesterday. Hang on, let me turn this down a lot. Not a lot, a little. I want to talk about this comment that I just saw. 7 out of 10 trades are break even. Matt Kohrs 2021. Honestly, you could even say for most of 2026. Yes, for most of this calendar year, I was doing a trend following system called Icarus, where about 6 or 7 out of 10 were break even. Once in a while, I'd have a loser, and once in a while, I'd have a big asymmetric winner. That was possible because of what was going on in my life. I had the time to dedicate to watch every single tick of every single day, and I could manage it, which is kind of needed when you are doing trend following trading. Right now, with having a newborn and also just my mental capacity and my sleep deprivation, I can't do that right now. I don't have the time. I don't have, I would say, the mental clarity to be doing that. What I can pull off, because of time and mental clarity and sleep deprivation, is I could do my scalp trading. And remember, there's many forms of trading. Trend following and mean reverting are the two common ones. So right now, I've just chosen to pivot from trend following to mean reverting, where I'm going for, instead of like one good trend following trade, I'm going for a lot of just mean reversion little scalp trades. Both are viable, but you can make money doing both. I think sometimes people have better personalities, like they're better suited for one or the other. But in terms of trading styles, I'm not saying one is better than the other. They're just two different ones. And obviously you have to be careful of conflating them. But yeah, I think for a long time, even as more recently as this year, I was mainly doing trend following trading. I very much was, and I try to get my stop in at break even and see how long I could ride the trend. I'm just at a point in my life right now where it's just not possible for me. So instead, I'm doing scalp trading, and this is proof. I mean, I've shown you, I made $1 million on Apex doing trend following trading. And right now we're up a decent amount of money. I don't know how much in total, but we're up a decent amount of money doing mean reverting scalp trades. Like, both are possible. One is not better than the other. They're just two different styles, and same thing applies. You have to stick to your trading system. You have to respect your size. And obviously, before all that, you have to do some research to make sure you have an actual edge. Can you explain what you look for in a scalp? Okay, so I could share what I personally look for. Obviously, this is not gospel. This doesn't necessarily apply to everyone across the board. But what I look for is I still try to identify the overall trend. And actually what I really like, and I think this is what sets my trading style apart from others, is I'm mainly putting my weight on what's happening in the options market. And the reasoning for that is because of how popular option trading has been getting, and has been, but it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger, which means the influence is more and more and more. And it's a unique aspect of the fact that it's mainly a single dealer market, while trading stock is a multi-dealer market. And without getting too far into the weeds of that, that just means we have a lot of, from a data perspective, a lot of clarity of what's going on in the world of options. So I try to identify the trend, not only looking at momentum and structure on the S&P 500, on the NASDAQ, but like the key thing that, like, in my mind, like really sets me apart is the options flow and the positioning and these gamma levels. So what I try to do is wait for one of those key levels to come, and then I try to scalp off of that, still in the direction of where I think it's going to go. So I'm still applying my generic trend following concepts of like, okay, I think this is the trend. But then for my scalp trends, what I'm doing is waiting for a key level that I could play off of, ideally in favor of the overall trend. So for trend following or mean reverting, I'm still looking at the structure, which is the highs and the lows relative to the highs and the lows across various time frames. I'm looking at the momentum of various time frames. I'm doing that for both the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ. Then I'm still pairing it together with all of these key levels. And that is not different for me in my trend following or my scalp trading. I still want to have the overall context of the market, the overall structure of the market, to get a better idea of what's going on. But what I'm doing now, instead of waiting for those like levels where I'm like, okay, this is the trend, and I could be a little bit more wishy-washy of like when I throw it on because I'm looking for the larger trend to persist. Now what I'm doing is I'm being hyper specific with my entries, and I'm just trying to go for a little scalp once again with that overall trend. And then I'm just trying to get in and out and do that multiple times throughout a session as I'm here in the morning with you guys, because that's when I have to make my money, because I don't have the time to sit here all day. I know one day things will return to some new version of normal, but having literally an 8-week-old, I'm just not afforded that right now. So that's from a higher level how I kind of view all of this. Key levels, support, resistance, positioning of big money in the options market, structure, flow. Just basically trying to trade with flow. I would say I'm a flow trader if you had to put me in some bucket, whether we're doing that with trend following or scalp trading. So not really a 50-50 game with scalping. No. With scalping, you're going to end up having negative risk reward. You're going to be going for small profits, but taking on big risk. So your hit rate needs to be high, probably in excess of 90% to be profitable. While with trend following, you're taking on a relative basis less risk than you are to reward. So maybe you only have to be right 30 or 40% of the time. So the risk to reward ratio is very, very different. So for a person, if you're more of the idea of like, okay, I want to win a lot, I want to do a lot of trades, you're going to have very small profit targets and larger risk. Well, if you're more of a person like, no, I want it to breathe, I don't want to be trading that much, it's going to be more trend following where you're not going to be right that often, probably not even 50-50, but when you are right, it's going to be big. Discovering Keltner channels has helped me a lot with scalping. Yeah, so you're just looking for like a statistically abnormal move for whatever time period you're looking at. I don't think, like anything, I don't think the Keltner channel, which is this right here, KC Keltner channel, it is just a standard deviation move, I believe, from the 10 EMA. So this blue line in the middle is the 10 EMA. So you go 2, or you could set it up, but the default is 2 standard deviations above, 2 standard deviations below. And people look to fade those extreme moves. So punched above, look to short, punched above, look to short, punched above, look to short. And ever since then, we've been in it. So it's just kind of choppy. If we throw it up on the SPX, I mean, today is not the best day because once again, it is just choppy. But you can see right here at 1016, we punch below, so you look to go long. So that's mean reverting. You're looking to revert back to some average. So you're looking to fade the extreme movements. 15-minute Orbo is solid for direction. No, it is not. In fact, the 15-minute Orbo is one of the least useful Orbos out of all of them. By the time in terms of statistical backing of like actually giving you an edge more than 50-50, you're going to want to look at the 30-minute and the hour. I guess I'm just sharing the actual stats with you. I mean, I thought before I did the stats myself, I thought the 10-minute and the 15-minute had a lot of information and I love to trade them. And I just like, in my mind, I was like, oh, it worked here. It worked here. It worked here. Of course, it has to have some sort of expected value, positive expected value. Of course, it has to have some sort of edge or positive skew to be using this. And then by the time I actually did the analysis of it, it doesn't. So I found that a little bit hard to swallow myself. I really, really did. But I was like you. I up until maybe a year ago, I put a huge emphasis on the 10-minute and the 15-minute Orbo. But then by the time I just used AI to do a big like data analysis session and nothing. And even the 30-minute isn't that indicative of much. There are certain circumstances where it is, but I mean, whatever, that's a discussion for the Discord. But anything less than the 30 in terms of what we're doing on the day, if you're looking at the 1 minute, the 3 minute, the 5 minute, the 10 minute, the 15-minute Orbo, there are very unique circumstances in which I would trade the 10-minute Orbo, but there was no useful data skew on the 3, the 5, or the 15. And I data mined everything I could possibly think of. And trust me, like I don't want to piss on your parade there. I was in the exact same camp. I really, really thought there was something there. And then I was trading it forever. And I was like, okay, like I'm seeing it work all the time. But by the time I trade it, why is my account not going up and up and up? Dude, did my thing disconnect again? It did. Look it. I'm having the worst issues with Ninja. Look at, I can't even, my Ninja's frozen. Are you kidding me? What about the 30-second top by the PAX guy? I did a little bit of research on that. I couldn't find anything that was like statistically worthwhile. I believe from looking at what he does, he basically does it in a super asymmetric way. Like there's quite a few times where he's not making money. And then every once in a while he catches a big opening push. So like I would have to be able to properly backtest it. I would have to know the exact specifics that he uses. So it might be there, but I'm just letting you know from my initial analysis of like, is it indicative? Is the 30-second Orbo indicative of where we're going on the day? No, but also that's not the same statement as saying you can't make money on it. I would have to know like more of the specific details of his, what's going on. Dude, my Ninja. All right, we're booting back up. I don't know what's going on with my Ninja. I don't. Are other people having issues with Ninja? Mine like works and works and works, and then like at a certain point in the trading session, it just like shits out. What are some good reliable resources for stats? Just AI and Google. The most reliable resource is your own analysis. Like trust in yourself the most. I mean, I do a lot of the analysis and give it to the Discord. I mean, so if they trust in me and my mathematical capabilities, I guess you could trust that. But in terms of like, is there just like a website that you could use? Maybe trust but verify. I had issues with custom add-ons with Ninja in the recent update. Might be worth checking into your code to see if something are causing issues. Mine does the same. Yeah, I don't know what this problem is. And it's beyond infuriating. Beyond infuriating. All right, so the alphas, I passed those. I'll worry about them a little bit later. Let's go to the 5-minute to show you how we've done nothing today. How we've done a bunch of nothing, which I guess is good for me because if my op is already behind by 10K, if we just don't have big moves, it's going to be more difficult for him to make money. We almost broke down there. I'm kind of interested in this trend line breakdown, or I suppose this trend line breakout. Oh, brother, oh, brother, oh, brother, oh, brother, oh, brother. Oh, brother, oh, brother, oh, brother, oh, brother. Oh, brother, oh, brother, oh, brother, oh, brother. Okay, so I'm on the right one. Do I want to let this go a little bit? All right, we'll go none there. We'll zoom in, enhance, enhance, enhance. Enhance, enhance. Hang on one second. I'll come back to chat. I just wanted to make sure that I'm not missing something that I shouldn't be missing. A little bit of a pop there. I guess good thing I didn't chase it short. Good thing I didn't chase it short. All right, just wanted to save this workspace. Yeah, dude, lots of whipsaw today. We almost broke down, almost broke out. Almost broke down, almost broke out. Almost broke down, maybe now breaking out. We still haven't gotten this upside gap fill in. Overall, we're just stuck in this range. Little up, little down, little up, little down, little up, little down. Here's a look at options flow. There was a flow alert. We got a pop. It's kind of getting faded. Mag 7 kind of just generically trending down. NASDAQ just kind of generically trending down. Tesla not looking the best. Avago actually having a pretty decent day. SanDisk is having a decent day, bouncing back after taking a pretty sizable hit. 1 minute is bearish, 5 minute is testing, 10 minute is testing, 30 minute is bearish on the S&P 500. 1 minute is testing, 5 minute is bullish, 10 minute is bullish, 30 minute is bearish. So we're seeing a big mismatch. Like look at this right about here. Look at this mismatch. Some bullish, some bearish, very confusing setup across the various time frames. Just doesn't really quite know what it wants to do today. Doesn't quite know what it wants to do today. And we're just ping-ponging in between the two VWAPs. So not only are we going sideways, we're going from one VWAP to the next VWAP to that VWAP to that VWAP to that VWAP to that VWAP. That's once in a while we get into this mode where I swear the best money is made by just playing one VWAP to the next one. Now, of course, now that I say that, this next push is going to be the actual break. But had your base strategy just been playing one VWAP to the next VWAP, and maybe just on one side of it, maybe just bullish, maybe just bearish, you would have still made quite a bit of money already today. Quite a bit of money already today just playing the VWAP ping pong. But this is, sometimes you just see compression. And remember, you're storing up all that kinetic energy, and then you see that expanse and that pop. So this is, remember, that's the market is a pendulum going back and forth, periods of expansion to consolidation, expansion, consolidation, expansion, consolidation. We had huge expansion overnight. We're now consolidating, and who knows how long it's going to consolidate for, but eventually, given enough time, we're going to have another period of expansion. I lost 65% of my account today. Ugly. I'm sorry to hear that. That's brutal. That's really brutal. Brutal, 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 brutal. We've been there. We've all been there. And if you haven't been there, you just haven't been trading for long enough. If you haven't been there, you haven't been trading for long enough. Okay, S&P 500 is about to be fully bearish. Bearish, bearish, bearish. Looking at the NASDAQ, 1 minute's bearish. I guess the interesting test is 200 flat at this point. That's roughly the 5 and the 10-minute 50 EMA. So I'm curious how we react to that level. And then it's also us sweeping the NQ30 right here. So let's just wait. Patience, 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 patience. I feel like the one character from Ghost. Patience, patience, patience. Right back to 300. That's crazy, dude. What are we doing here? Look at that. Refusing to break down. We swept this trend line a little bit. Nope. Right back up to equilibrium. So that's classic mean reversion. We reverted back to the mean, back to the average. So ICT, accumulation, manipulation, distribution. Yeah, but ICT didn't make it. It's like there's well-known concepts known as accumulation and distribution. That's more of a Wyckoff thing, not ICT. ICT tries to take credit for a lot of things that he just did nothing with. And then there's so many fucking retards that follow him that, yeah, ICT came up with this and he didn't. And you know how I know that is because ICT has never made, he's never been net profitable trading for any serious period of time. There's no quarter or year where ICT has made money from trading. He's made money from ads. He's made money from mentorships, tricking people into it, but he himself has never made profit trading. Of course, you could point towards individual trades, but I'm saying there's no month, quarterly, or yearly period where he's been net profitable. And second piece of information for that is there are almost no profitable ICT traders in general. All of his students, there's very few who make money, and the ones who have made money basically started with him, and then they refined it, and they made their own system that was actually profitable. How did ICT traders do in the competition? I believe they've already all been knocked out, which that tells you something right there. But I think I'm pretty sure they're literally all knocked out, which is crazy.
Order filled.
That was on the wrong account. I wanted to do that on the Lucid accounts. Oops, my mistake. Whatever. Made a little bit of money. Made a little bit of money. Where was that? Right here. So I'm up to 1,100. I wonder if I should chill on this. Like, I wonder if I should stop at just 1,000 across the board. Everyone's up about 1,000. How do I want to play this today? How's that? Okay, maybe we are pushing here. That's a large risk, though. I can't do it on the Lucids. That's too far of a risk. The risk is all the way up at 300. That's a 50-point risk. That's a little brutal. It's a little much there, Tonto. Yeah, SPY is starting to go. Okay, we're right at 50. Like I said, 50, 40. Why am I watching this? Because it's right where we run out of positive gamma and start negative gamma. So this is one of those things where it could be a struggle to push to, let's call it 40, 45, something like that. But then if it breaks down, you're looking for a quick sell-off all the way down to 25. So it's kind of like slow, fast drop right through all this negative gamma. Or, of course, it could turn right here at 45, somewhere between 40 and 50, and bounce back up. That's possible. Maybe it gets rejected at 65, something like that. But I'm focusing on this negative gamma in the lower right, somewhere between roughly 7,445 and 7,420.25. This is the negative gamma node that I'm curious if we can like actually play that today. Okay. Well, while we're waiting for something to happen, like I said, if you want a Legends account, code Goonie will get you not only 60% off, 60, but also when you buy one, you get one free. So both of those. And then obviously shout out to TPT as well. I just see that you guys love it. I can obviously track my own signups for people using code Goonie. So I can see you guys love it for good reason. They get daily payouts. There's no consistency rule. So you get 40% off, no activation fee. So just wanted to shout that out to all of you. And for any of you who choose to use that code Goonie, I just want to say thank you. You guys are the fucking best. It makes me less depressed about my own shitty trading when I get into like the really bad spouts of it like I did in the month of June. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Where was our music anyway? We had a little run there. This is Stupid featuring Gamma Burn. Yeah, a little pop there. Little pop there. 95. 95 back down. 300. This is actually falling back over. Is this going to fail? We have this trend line. I guess we could technically draw a new one, but we already know the first one broke and it's just retesting. Yeah, we're breaking down. Like I said, somewhere between 40 and 45 is where we run out of positive gamma, and then we're seeing if we get sucked into this negative gamma node and puke all the way to 20, 25.
I'm so dumb. Stupid.
If you're in the Discord, I just made a trade. I'm sending it in right now into Thick Trades. All right. If you're in the Discord, that's in there. Did I miss a trade on futures though? So I made the trade on options. That's in there for everyone in the Discord. I did miss. I don't know if I would have ever taken it. So maybe I didn't miss one on futures. because we're getting right. We still don't have the upside gap fill. All right. Once again, in the Discord, I just posted a new options trade. That's in there. Nasdaq is trending down. Mag 7 is trending down. S&P 500 is trending down. So 200 is important. 210, 201. Here we go. We're seeing if this actually breaks or not. 30 minutes swiftly rejected. 5 minutes testing, 10 minutes testing. 1 minute broke, 5 minute broke, 10 minute broke, 30 minute. S&P 500 is now, from a momentum and a structure standpoint, legitimately bearish. We just snapped 200. All right, let's see if we bounce off of this. Okay, let me turn this down a little bit while we're waiting to see how some of this plays out. I obviously missed this. I don't know if I would have taken that because like the risk was pretty large. Obviously it paid out and the odds were high, but I just don't know. I'm already up. I don't necessarily I'm at the point in the day where I'm being even more picky because like I just don't want to give it back. I'm up $1,000 per account. So like whatever. I passed all the alphas. Like I could have taken it, but like I said, already being up, I'm more so looking for the A+ setups because I don't really see a point in chasing or doing something a little bit more less likely. Like I'm literally at the point when I'm up 1,000, either stop trading or literally only take A+ setups. So there's not really no risk, why risk? No risk, why risk? I don't get the question. It was reasonable to take this. That would have worked, but then I would have been in at 68 and it never touched it at the VWAP rejection. So then it's chasing at 25. That's 40 point. Like, it's just, it wasn't there. It was a little too much risk. I think the trend and the read was right. And like I said, it's all coming back to the information I'm obviously giving you guys for free of, I think we could rip through this whole negative gamma with your point being either 20 or 25. 7420, 7425 would be your next target. Like it's in my book, a pretty evident setup. We're cracking the previous day's low. So now the odds of us closing below the previous day's close is now 78% chance. So there's a 4 and 5 shot. We closed today below 709.43 on the Qs. And that's already true. About an 85% chance we close below 747.71. Tesla's getting cracked. SanDisk is getting cracked. Not going to chase it. Ever try putting RSI levels on your chart as moving averages? No, because RSI is not moving averages. RSI is RSI. I guess I don't really get the question. Like, are you saying, do I look at RSI? Not really. I don't find the data from it that compelling. I know you can use it. I know there are strategies that use RSI and are profitable. I'm not saying it's like useless. I just think there's better ones. And at a certain point with a lot of these indicators, whether you're looking at like RSI, momentum, MACD, the EMAs, the slope of the EMAs, you're measuring the same thing. It's just being presented in a slightly different way. So the useful information from RSI, I'm already capturing with other indicators. So I just don't need repeat indicators. Oh, do I just call it here? I kind of, in my own mind, I was trying to get these all up above 1,000, but in reality, I'm only off by $12.
Connection lost.
And I'm losing connection. Do I just call it here? That's not a bad day. It'd be nice to get up to 54. Just like mentally, just that last little bit. But then is it that last little bit that screws you over? Probably just easier if you said search RSI levels on chart indicator and you'd see it. I'm not too interested in finding it though, I guess is my point. All right, we are breaking below the low here. The IB low on NQ. I'm so pissed Sandisk was 5 points away from filling the daily gap and reversed. Ooh, that's brutal. Bad beats, dude. Trading definitely has a fair amount of bad beats. Yeah, I can't chase it short all the way down here. We're literally already 2 standard deviation move away. Chances are it keeps going. It's just like if you didn't get involved, you're just taking on too much risk. We could be heading back all the way to 28909, the overnight low. Back above 200. All right, here's a look at flow. SPY did have a hero alert. It popped it, but ever since then, getting faded. Slowly but surely trending down on the S&P 500. Mag 7 trending down pretty much all day. Not aggressively, but trending down. Same thing with the Nasdaq. So options flow is negative. You have this negative node that we just pierced halfway through. I would be looking for this continuation to the bottom of it. Not a guarantee, but that's what I'd be looking for. Nasdaq, we have that. 1 minute, 5 minute, 10 minute, 30 minute, it's all bearish. 1 minute, 5 minute, 5 minute and 10 minute might be saving themselves right here. Kind of curious on the 10 minute on NQ. Do we break above 282 or do we break below 151? 30 minutes bearish, which I use for overall context. Went up, failed, got rejected. So I would say if we snap 151, that is not a good look. That is not a good look. Matt, do gap fills and pre-market have similar results in cash market gap fills? Any research on that? There's no such thing as the fills for SPY or Qs in pre or post market. That's a cash session, but I don't know what you're specifically talking about. If you're talking about for an individual equity, probably not, but you do research on the individual equity. Whoa, what was that pop? What was that pop? We got some. This is why you wait for the A+ setups, folks. This is definitely why you wait for the A+ setups. All right, well, this is a bullish engulfing bar. We came right back up to this 50 EMA. 211 is a pretty serious breakdown, but it's also quite a bit of risk. Let's see, how much time do we have? 12. What trade do I want to take?
Order filled.
Did that lock in? It did. Where's this one? I'm up to 1.2. Wow, I'm actually lucky it locked in where it did. I mean, I had more money there, but look at that bounce right back to VWAP. I'm trying to play this VWAP rejection. We have 2 VWAPs that the market's not necessarily in love with. right back up to this VWAP at 96. Is it worthwhile to short at 300? I don't know if it'll get up there. It's quite the pop from here. Didn't want to close below IB. Dude, I have to sneeze so bad. I don't know if it's Piper. Nope.
Order filled.
Nice. All right, locked in something on that one. Another 100. I'm so much more willing to trade the competition account. I don't know why. I guess it's because I'm like so close to like actual payouts that maybe there's a little bit of a psychology block. But if I copy traded it, they would all be like crushing it right now. I guess I do have a different risk with all of them. It's just like, I know I have a lot more leeway in this because it could theoretically go down 26K. So I'm like, okay, I could risk these recent points and still fight. While on the funded accounts, the SIMDA funded, whether it's Alpha, Tradeify, Lucid, I just don't have that much room. So I'm being a bit more picky because even if I short here, it's like, dude, do you really want to risk 300? That's an 80-point risk. If you're trading 2 contracts, that's a lot of money, dude. That's 3.2K. That's like pretty much everything that I'm up. So like, I think that's why I'm trading a little bit less, just because these ranges where I'm like willing to risk, it's just so vast. So maybe I could drop it to 1 contract. Like I doing the right move. I guess I don't know. I'm explaining to you guys why I'm trading on one account, but not all the other ones. It's just because of the risk. It's just, if you don't like the risk, you shouldn't be trading. And I don't like the risk, so I chose to skip some of these trades. I guess I could always go to 1. Maybe I just drop a contract. All of a sudden, free it up a little. Dude, these ranges are nuts. Big pop there in the S&P 500. Max 7 still trending down. Nasdaq still trending down. It's looking weak, sauce. Yeah, we could easily push to 420, 425, somewhere in the lower right. That's where I'm looking for this little negative gamma node to play out. Wow, even that pop got faded pretty fast. Huh. Lots of range. Lots of range. I would say momentum and structure and options. I'm more obviously interested in bearish positions on an intraday basis at the moment. The one thing that's like keeping me a little bit hesitant, I suppose, is the upside gap fill on the S&P 500. Well, that one didn't work. I was looking to fade that, but it just dumped 35 points like it was nothing. All right, let me pull that order. How's my op doing? Let's check in. I think when's the last time it updated? 10:07. So it should be, actually, that's when we'll end the stream, is when this updates again. It was updated at 10:15. I got knocked down to 5th place. Dero trades, Uncle Bugatti. So some people are really playing it. I'm trying to be... Wait, where's my guy? Oh, shit. He's back to break even. Dude, this is what I was worried about. My guy somehow made 10K back. Fuck. This is what I was saying, dude. He's back to break even. So he was down 3K, up 6.5, down 10, now break even. That's crazy. That's just so nuts. Like, that's wild. He's just swinging it. Like, he's really going for it. That's crazy.
Order filled.
That's impressive. Like, I don't even... Is
Order filled. Order filled.
That was on the whatever accounts. Oh, wait. That's not good.
Order filled.
Oh, okay. It did lock in? I was confused. So these are all locked in. Okay. 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. So the only thing still live... I think I need to call it here on the other accounts on the day. That's a pretty good chunk of change. All right. I'm protecting myself from myself. I'm disconnecting. That's the only position I'm in. It was break even for a second there. Okay. I'm just, like I said, I'm trying to protect myself from myself here. I'm disconnecting every account except for the competition account. I made enough on all these other funded and evals. I'm up roughly 4K on each one on the 50K. So let's just see how we could take care of this. Wow, dude. How is it? What is he trading that he's making all of that back? That's so crazy. Impressive, or is he YOLOing? He's YOLOing, but he's getting lucky with YOLOing, which I suppose is a skill in itself. But, like, golly, man. Golly. It's crazy. Like, when I saw him last night, the very first update was down 3K. Then that was when the futures market opened, maybe an hour or two after. Then from there, he was up 6.5. I was like, oh, wow. Then the next update, he was up 5.5. He gave back $1,000. Then I went to bed and I woke up and he was down 10. And now he's break even. What is he doing? Like, what is he? I don't know if he's even trading NQ. There hasn't been enough, unless he like played the bounce overnight and locked it in. Because remember, this isn't showing real time as in also your unrealized. It's just what your realized is. So before, when we saw him down 10K, he could have been having like the long position that bounced all the way back, and then he finally locked it in. It's just your realized P&L. So he's just swinging it hard. Like, it's just a gigantic swing. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Like, it really is. Okay, Well, here, let me pause this for a second. It is past 11. So that's it for me. Like I said, I'm pretty much now done on the day. I shut things down. You guys saw it. I made just over 1,000 per account, and I'm going to call it a day there. The Discord knows about my options positions. I have some profit targets in there. Kind of a basic day. I'm going to see how, I don't know, like I'm going to try to manage. Dude, it's so tough. I'm going to try to manage this position, but maybe I just keep scalping it. Maybe I don't even worry about what he's doing because he's just swinging huge. And like, that's not really trading. It's luck. Like you wouldn't do that with your own funded account, but obviously in a competition setting, you might do it because you're trying to win the competition. So there's high odds of blowing out. But if you do catch a big one, well, that's how you can get back a 10K loss, or it's how you can get such a lead. So it's definitely not a way you would trade your own funded account, but hey, it's still allowed by the competition rules, so I'm not complaining. It's like it's theoretically allowed, but it makes it such a wild card. I guess my base plan is not to focus too much on it today because we still have a whole nother day of competition, a whole nother day. So I obviously care about where he's at, and I'll keep tracking it. But I think I care a little bit more about where he's at, like tomorrow morning, tomorrow midday, to see where we're at. Because between now and the end of market close tomorrow, 5 p.m. ET tomorrow, there's a lot that's going to go on. So I don't even know if it's necessarily worthwhile for me to watch his swings because he's massively up, he's massively down. So he'll beat me if he gets incredibly lucky. And if he gets incredibly unlucky or just normal because he's trading like huge size, just going for monster swings, we'll see how it goes. But like I said, massively volatile. He literally lost half of his account, almost half. He went from 25 down to 15, making it back. And who knows what position he's even in now. Like, that's just crazy. It's legitimately crazy. He could be trading oil. He could be trading silver. Who knows what he's trading, but he's trading something with like super, super aggressive size. But it's one of those things, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. It works if you hit, but then if you make a misstep, you pay the price. So it's just how the question is, can he remain lucky enough all the way up until 5 p.m. tomorrow? That's the question, is like, how long can his luck possibly go? Because this is clearly not a normal trading style. Well, it's not a real trading style. It's a degen gambling style that still might work. It still like legitimately might work. But that's crazy. From down 10K to break even. Sage blew out. He was weeding. Daniel is going against Uncle Bugatti, so he's pretty much done. Kellyanne had a good first round, bad second round. Muddy Ox, he just got lucky. SK, the Grinders, they both got lucky. He had a good win. He hasn't traded yet today. Ike had one scalp. And then I'm currently in 5th place. If I close out right now, I'd be in 6th. But Ryush was in the red. He must have caught one nice recovery trade up 3.9. Bugatti, once again, he's putting the pressure on Daniel, who's down here in 15th. Bugatti's in 2nd. But for me, it's interesting to see the overall competition. But remember, my main focus is Jesus FCT, which like every single hour that this updates, he's in a completely different position, So, hey, if I lose to him, I give it to him because it just means he got incredibly lucky and caught some monster one. Because when the kid's swinging for it, he's swinging for it. So it's more of, will my skill outmatch his luck? And I guess I'll tell you better at 5 p.m. ET tomorrow. I'll tell you better tomorrow. But all right, I'm going to go hang out in the Discord, pay attention to my option trades and whatnot, but things are definitely starting to slow down on the day. So I just wanted to say thank you to all of you guys. I appreciate all the good vibes. Before you go, remember Legends right now, 60% off, and it's a BOGO deal. Buy one, get one on top of that. Code Goonie, and right now TBT is running their nice deal, 40% off and no activation fee as well. So slightly different rules. I do implore you to kind of check out the rule set and use the one that you think is best for you. And then other than that, I appreciate all the good vibes. I'll catch you guys on the flippity flip. I hope you're sticking to your plan. I hope you're trading well. I hope you're making a bunch of money. And if you're not already, I hope you make a bunch of money this afternoon or maybe even overnight, something like that. So like I said, I beg of you, stick to your trading plan. Please respect your size. Pay attention to those key levels. And from there, just let the die roll. Thanks for all the good vibes. I'll catch you on the flippity flip. Peace.